You got a story for us, Herman? Do you have a story for us?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a little bit of story to tell here because when I was young, just like you guys, at 6 years old, you see that point right there? That's Ankle Creek. Just before that point, we lived there. Ankle Creek. And we also call it Whitefish Bay. That's where we stay. Me and my dad, all the winter long, we chop there. This side is my mom's chop line. That's why we stay there. Right about now, you see this ice, how it is? Mark French used to skate. You skate and go right to us, visit us over there. And every day them they see our smoke coming out. And me, I always go to that point just to see here smoke. Back then, not very many people around, but it's sure nice to see when you see smoke. No one around. And then right from there, I look across to Old London. John T.G., Mariam, and his kids, they're all in Old London. Leonard T.G. 3 places, Buckley House, Whitefish Bay, and Old London. We stay here all the winter long until this ice freezes. Once the ice freezes, we start making our way across the lake. Sometimes we're walking on 3-4 inches ice just to get across to Old London, then back to Takla. Sometimes we get almost about 100 martin, about maybe 12 or 13 lengths. But when we stay there, we get lots to eat. White fish all over in the lake, and we set caught fish net like this. Fish hanging up in our smokehouse. That old cabin down there kind of broke down now, Whitefish Bay. That's where I raised up there. Me and some others, there was quite a bit of my family. Lizzie, Roman, Tony, they all raised up in there. So Mark has pretty good story on the tape about that. He recorded it, but he still never showed me that tape. He just said he put it away. And then when we stay here, sometimes my dad would come across. We use a couple of dogs to come visit Johnny friends over here. They always have really nice hot meal for us. We stay like this during the day and we go back across. It almost take about 2 hours, 1 hour and a half to get back to Whitefish Bay. So we lived there, born and raised there for a long time. I miss that spot. I miss that area. The whole back country over here, my dad do some chopping. And not too far from Northwest Arm, you can see that mountain across. Just the other side there is Northwest Arm. They have a trail right back to this mountain over here, below this mountain. That's how far they chop them. Sometimes they come down to visit us, stay overnight, then they go back to their cabin. That lake over there, they call it Buncho Lake. Inuk West is the area. Then right over here, this way, around here is that 14 Mountain. Summertime, if you park here, you can hear that big waterfall. Big waterfall coming off the mountain. There's glacier up there. And going up north this way, start Chickwood Valley start. You come across that book, Chickwood Valley, over towards Bear Lake. Other side of here is the trail that goes towards Babine from Bear Lake. And then all those mountains we know every mountain because I've been all through it. There's Diver Lake Mountain, there's TG Mountain right there. And then 7 Mile Mountain over there sticking out behind that, 12 Mile Mountain, and what you call Diver Lake Mountain. We all have Indian name for it, but on a map they put it into what I'm saying now, like Diver Lake Mountain. But right now, last few years, we started identifying all the creek and all the mountain. We put in all the Indian name on the map. This way, when we're going to do land claim settlement, we're just going to have to give the map to the Mark Carney, and then we put all our Indian stuff with name on it. We don't have to fight that much. We just have one lawyer with us and elder, and then we go down to Ottawa, get this thing settled. So some of the young people, they don't have to stand here and fight the next span over like Teke or Papine or farther north. We're getting ready now. I'm glad that that camera that's around here doing this, that's another helpful thing. So people understand that the land that comes from Tackle Landing is pretty big territory, pretty big area. And look where we live here, Tackle Landing, middle of nowhere, just like nearest town, Smithers, nearest town this way, Fort St. John, nearest town going up that way is probably either on Tenant John or nearest town that way, Fort St. James. We live one of the most beautiful places ever. And that's why we want to keep it that way. So I'm glad some of these kids that's coming around, someday they will help us say a few words. That's all I want to talk about. From this way down the lake, it's about 12 miles. You can see that mountain straight across from the store. But we drove around to the road. We see at least some grouse, animals there around. Sometimes quite a bit of elk down there. At least 50, 100 of them. We didn't see their tracks. But back then, where so much food, we just coming across here, you could see moose walking all over on the ice like that. Everywhere moose. Hardly any wolves. Until about 1960 somewhere, 64. I don't know how the wolves came. And then the airplanes start dropping down all this poison all over the ice to try to kill these wolves. But other animals were eating it, and they were killing other animals too because of that. That one we still need to talk about yet, because some of those meat that they drop from the airplane, me and my dad walked to it. Birds, they eat it, you could just see feathers all over. They all got poisoned. That's how bad that airplane was dropping meat and all the ice all the way up to Bear Lake. Every lake, the Cedar Lake, every lake they did that damage. We still need to talk about that yet, us. That's all I could say here, so it's really nice listening to me. And that's good. That's what we come here to do. Thank you so much.